Bitcoin is retesting the inverse head and shoulders on the weekly time frame, and in this exact video I will talk about what this means for Bitcoin. And also, Bitcoin is right now breaking below the 200 weekly moving average. I will be exactly talk about this, what could happen if Bitcoin breaks this very important neckline, and many more important charts. I will talk about historical returns on August, but also more importantly I'm going to talk about the historical returns on September. And never in history of Bitcoin the returns in September have been positive. So I will be exactly discuss this and many more important charts. Can we once again smash up the likes back above 500? That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. Currently we do know it is Sunday, it's the last day of the weekend, and Bitcoin is still hovering around that 26,000 US dollars. What is of course the CME futures price for Bitcoin? I will remain to be expecting that Bitcoin of course is going to be trading somewhat around that 26,000 US dollars. And if Bitcoin really moves far from of this price, we're expecting that either at the end of the Sunday or at the beginning of the Monday, we will be retracing back towards this price or pumping back towards this price. So yes, this is the CME futures for Bitcoin, and we are looking closely towards this boring price action over the course of this weekend after Bitcoin had that massive drop towards the downside. So looking at the imminent short term for Bitcoin, we can currently see that the RSI is massively climbing back upward. So we are currently creating some bullish divergences on the 1 hour time frame, but I don't really like the structure, to be very honest. And on the 4 hourly time frame, you can still clearly see Bitcoin remains to be super oversold. And historically speaking, once Bitcoin is so oversold in the 4 hourly time frame, at least what we tend to see is a small little bounce back towards the upside. But just like I said on yesterday's video, personally I do really think that the liquidity is going to get grabbed from of this move towards the downside, because from of every big move towards the downside for Bitcoin, we always see that liquidity is going to get grabbed here. And I'm not necessarily expecting it has to be happening straight away. First, I am really expecting a smaller bounce back towards the upside, then a move down here to approximately $25,000, hit that level, create a double bottom, and then bounce back towards the upside. And of course, if that happens, we will also create a bullish divergence probably on the 4 hourly RSI, and then I personally think the bottom is going to get formed for Bitcoin. So be on high alert. I personally still think there is a possibility that Bitcoin is going to create another move towards the downside, since yes, the bears are still also a little bit in control here. However, a very important thing to know here for next week here is that 2 days ago the US court didn't reach a final decision on the Grayscale lawsuit against the SEC regarding the conversion from its fund in towards a Bitcoin spot ETF. However, it's anticipated that this court decision will happen next week here, and of course, and if they win this lawsuit, then most likely all the Bitcoin spot ETFs have to get approved within days. So yes, this is very important for the market, and if they win it, it will be a super big win for crypto overall. So keep your eyes wide open on this. If they win this lawsuit, Bitcoin could start to reverse its momentum very quickly again here. So make sure to pay attention towards this. Or maybe the market dumped, because some people already know some stuff in the market that we don't. So yeah, this is very important to pay attention towards, and this will happen next week. And this could cause, once again, more volatility hitting the market. Then at the same time, another thing that's probably going to cause a lot of volatility is the low funding rates that we can see across the entire market. Over the entire market, the entire funding rate is negative, what means that there are more short positions active than long positions, and it's across all the cryptocurrencies, not only across Bitcoin and Ethereum, but all the cryptocurrencies, and it's also quite significantly negative. And in my opinion, what happened is a lot of long positions exited the market. You can see it on this graph right here. This is the open interest. Really moved towards the downside, and Bitcoin also moved down. So likely these are a lot of long positions that are exiting the markets, and currently we can see that the open interest is sitting at a low not seen since March 2023. What is of course actually quite a very nice thing here, because the lower the open interest in the market, the less risk it is on investing into Bitcoin. So open interest is at a low, and funding rates is at a low as well here. So that could mean that we can start to see maybe another squeeze of open interest, where short positions are going to get squeezed out here. And that would mean, of course, a move back towards the upside for Bitcoin. And just like I said, I don't necessarily think we're going to be having a big bounce back to $30,000. However, I personally first think we could come down to $25,000 before seeing a bigger momentum shift back towards the upside. I mean, it's going to be super important to be watching this trend line right here in the middle, the $25,000, because $25,000 $25,000 is clearly the most important level for Bitcoin, because in the Luna collapse, it provided support. Here, it provided resistance. As well, right here, it provided resistance. Here, it provided support. And once again, this was the level that exactly found support for Bitcoin again. So $25,000 is the main level to be looking at. And if we break below that level, yes, then we are in big trouble. So $25,000 is the main level to be looking at. Quickly looking at my trades, I remain to be long on Ethereum because yes, I am building up a swing trade for the next bull run, because I personally think that Ethereum is going to hit levels above 10,000 US dollars in the next bull run, and I'm currently opening up my leverage positions. If Ethereum comes down to $1,500, I'm just going to double down my margin. I'm currently in a small loss here, but I am building up a bigger and bigger position as time continues. So yeah, if you want to be trading yourself, go to the link in the description of today's video where you can claim a deposit bonus up to 30,000 US dollars. Talking about this market, of course, I said this yesterday here, I still think that if you look at these previous big dumps towards the downside, Bitcoin always tends to be finding its liquidity back here on the lows, so I will be expecting the same here. Quickly looking at the daily RSI on Bitcoin, we are currently sitting at a low, not seen since pandemic crash 2020. So Bitcoin is currently sitting at an extreme low here in terms of its oversold conditions, and you have to know what happens in the pandemic crash. Bitcoin, of course, slowly recovered back towards the upside, but more importantly, it indicated a generational buying opportunity, and that is what I think as well, once again, that is happening right now. This is a generational buying opportunity, and you have to know and understand what's going on here. Many people are in fear, but next week, maybe if Grayscale is going to win the lawsuit, the sentiment will shift very quickly again here, and Bitcoin could be back on $35,000 in no time again. So what you have to be paying attention towards right now as well here is the dollar index that currently is trading in a massive downtrend, but is currently in a small little bounce back towards the upside, but it is currently going to be retesting a very important trend line. So if we see a rejection from here on, this could be also playing out pretty positively for Bitcoin and create some more bullish momentum for Bitcoin as well. And of course, I've talked about this level many times before here. We're currently retesting the inverse head and shoulders for Bitcoin. So yeah, as long as we're trading above $25,000, I do still see this pretty positively, and the macro trend is still bullish, but I have said this several times before. If we break below $25,000, the bigger trend is going to shift around. And you can also currently see here that we're retesting the 200 weekly moving average. We're about to be moving below it. So the 200 weekly moving average is sitting somewhere around 27,000 US dollars. But back in June, we also broke below the 200 weekly moving average, and people thought we were screwed, but in the end of the day, we still moved towards the upside. So personally, I don't really know on how much this exactly matters, but currently we're retesting the $25,000. And like I said earlier in this video, as long as we're holding $25,000, I remain to be believing that there's no reason to really panic in this market right now here. One thing that is very interesting to be looking at here is the month of September. So yeah, in 10 days from now on, we're going to enter the month of September. And literally in the history of Bitcoin, we have never seen Bitcoin had a positive month in September. So September is the first month after the summer, basically. And yeah, it's about to start in 10 days from now on. And that is probably going to kickstart maybe potentially another leg towards the downside. Or maybe this time around is going to be different. Last year, August was also bearish, but September is definitely a month I am a little bit worried about. Then quickly talking about Ethereum, there's only one chart I'm going to discuss here, but currently Ethereum remains to be holding its weekly uptrend here. I mean, I'm super excited about Ethereum. In Q3 of 2023, we're also going to get a huge update on Ethereum, and it will make Ethereum cheaper on the layer ones, what is of course a big issue we all know. So this is going to be a super important update for the next bull run on Ethereum. I'm super excited about it, and that is also one of the reasons why I'm currently building up a swing trade here at the lower prices. I am still quite excited about Ethereum. I don't really think we're going to necessarily break down here. If we do break down here, yeah, I'm just going to keep buying more and more Ethereum. If it comes down to $1,000, I'm just going to keep buying more here, because Ethereum is a deflationary asset. More than 24% of the total Ethereum in circulation is currently staked on the beacon chain. That is absolutely insane. So a lot of Ethereum is getting out of supply, so there's not a lot of sell pressure, and more importantly, Ethereum is a deflationary asset by 0.3% a year. So in 10 years from now on, there's going to be 3% less supply, what is going to cause a massive run up here. I can already guarantee you that. So I am holding Ethereum for the long run. I'm super excited about it, and I personally think that if you're going to be buying it right now, there's no financial advice, but these are my personal targets. Within 2.5 years, it's easily going to do a 5 to 7x here. And that is, of course, a significant amount if you're also trading this with leverage. And that is exactly what I'm currently doing. So with right now 50,000 US dollars, but in the future, I will be doing way more money because yes, I am also prepared if Ethereum goes lower, I'm just going to be buying more margin. So that was it for me in today's update video. If you did enjoy, don't forget to slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.